Xilla from Global Grind.
Hi, Xilla.
How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm very, very happy to be here with you, man. I think you're so dope.
It's a good shirt.
Thank you very much.
All of human history has led to this moment. This is our last stand. And if we lose, it will be a planet of apes.
Caesar, coming of age story. How did it change for you playing baby Caesar to now? Because now you're like, you know who you are. Like, so what was this like for you?
This was, I mean, the whole trilogy's been an incredible journey, you know, a fantastic journey. Not only because, you know, very rarely an actor gets to play, you know, a being or a person from infancy through to mature adulthood, but also the evolutionary changes, you know, seeing him become less chimpanzee and grow towards being more human-like in speech and thought and emotion and so on. Yeah, I mean, it's been phenomenal, and then in this story too, the emotional journey that he goes on was really dark. It was a really dark thing to play and to draw from, you know, personal experience and the events that were going on in my own life around the time that we were shooting, and so it's been a great experience.
I may be jumping out of a window here, but some of the best acting I saw was when Caesar is called to Woody's room, and it's you and Woody, and you guys are going back and forth, and Woody's just giving this performance, and I'm just like, wow, that was so good. Yeah, what was that like, going back and forth with him during that scene when Caesar has already been through so much, and then Woody's like, okay, we're finally here, and you got to talk to him? No,
that was an amazing experience working with Woody. He's such a fine actor, you know, he's great and so in the moment, and just, you know, and the two characters, you know, the Colonel, who you know has hatred for the apes, wants his species to survive, and has gone through his own personal traumas. You know, the great thing about it is he's not a one-dimensional villain character. You really feel for that guy, and you feel for where he's got to and how he's become who he is. But obviously Caesar too, and Caesar has gone and finally come to meet to meet his nemesis, and yet there's this strange fascination between the two of them, and almost respect, and yet there's this intensity and hatred too. So they were extraordinary scenes to play. And Woody, I mean, there was a 7-page monologue that he had to deliver, which was like doing it was a piece of theatre really, you know. And you know, we did that scene over 2 days or so, and the main big head-to-head, and it was an extraordinary thing to be at that level of intensity for that. It was exhausting for 2 days.
Here's what was great about Woody. When he came on board, first of all, he loves these movies, and he's going like, you know, I'm not quite sure how you do it, but I can't wait to find out. And I think he thought he was going to be acting opposite a tennis ball. Like in a lot of VFX movie, the idea is that what is there that's a VFX is not there. But on these movies, you play to the other actors. So he's playing to Andy Serkis, and he's going, oh, whoa, this guy's amazing. And they actually became really close friends because, you know, when an actor feels that another actor is giving to them and there's this whole thing going back and forth, it's electric. And that's what happened between them. And what was cool about Woody was that he was always coming up with ideas. And he would be like, even like there's that thing when, you know, when they first, he said, he goes, I think, because this is such a big moment, it should be like Wellington, Napoleon, this whole thing. I said, that's awesome, Woody. I said, except, isn't that weird that he's an ape? Why would you assume? He goes, oh, I can answer that. He goes, what? You're obviously not much of a reader. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. So literally, like, he would come up with ideas, we'd write them into the script. He is really inventive. He's amazing. He was great.
That was a great scene. I love that.
Oh, that's cool.
Much of a reader.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that total Woody thing. Yeah.
Have you finally come to save your apes?
I came for you.
For me?
Your eyes, almost human. How did you know I was here?
I was told you were coming. soldiers from the north would be joining you here.
Joining me.
To finish us off. For good.
Who told you that? Okay. Let's go.
So I love great acting, and I was telling Andy that I feel like your one-on-one with him was one of the best acting performances I've seen all year. What was it like crafting that scene when the two guys, Colonel finally meets Caesar, and they go face to face, and you have a 7-page monologue I hear that you have to spit? What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, it had its challenges. I think I made it a little more challenging by deciding to do all this prop stuff, you know, making coffee and such, which I'd never done in my own life. But I really liked the scene. I think Andy's one of the most gifted actors I've ever encountered. And there's a lot going on in that scene, and it's kind of an interesting way that the Colonel makes himself a little bit vulnerable to Caesar, who he begrudgingly respects, even though Caesar represents all that he wants to, you know, demolish and destroy, you know.
Another scene that touched me
Yeah.
was when Caesar gets whipped.
Yeah.
And he's giving me that Denzel glory.
Oh my God.
But he gives a little bit of a reaction.
Yeah.
Filming that part, like, how was that day on set? Because whipping in America is a big thing.
Well, you know, that scene we shot over the course of probably a week, because there's so much scale in it, right? There's all of these apes. It's just a crazy sort of thing. And I'll tell you, you know, the thing that was amazing to watch was Andy. I mean, he's not being whipped, but you could feel him being whipped. And that was the thing too, when we were first putting the cut together. It was like you were rocked by it. The intensity of that scene we've been playing with it and altering it, because there's a version of that scene that Andy wanted to be whipped and whipped. He goes, keep going. He goes, I feel like I need to go through this. And so, you know, what's in the film is crazy intense. It was more intense than that. And it was powerful. I mean, it was powerful really because of the way Andy was expressing himself. You could feel his pain. You could feel the brutality. And you were like, whoa, this is horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that set was a horrible, horrible set to shoot on. It was, you know, just it reminded you of so many horrific moments in history, you know, concentration camps, and you know, and we were on it for a long period of time. We were shooting there for like half of the shoot, and in the middle of a Canadian winter, and it was brutal. It was a brutal set. Nothing forgiving about it. Nothing kind of, you know, you couldn't get comfortable there. It was a really nasty place. Had a horrible vibe, and so that scene was again shot over, you know, numerous times, and you know, it just kind of felt, you know, I felt behoven to play him as someone who was going to stand up for his people, who was going to stand up for his kind, and you know, it was physically quite exhausting and quite painful.
God, Xilla!
Yeah.
Xilla, bitch!